Welcome to transfer deadline day. It's just shut, literally at 7. Now, obviously, things can come out after the transfer deadline finishes at 7 o'clock. And in Scotland, it still goes on till 11. So there is a bit of a chance of players leaving us still, maybe, anybody going to Scotland. But let's discuss with you guys today what's gone on just today and, of course, over the whole transfer window. Do you think it's been a good window for Leicester City or not? That's question number one. Is it going to be good enough to get us back into the Premier League? That's question number two. There's so much things to talk about. So get your views in, get your comments in. We've started early because we wanted to go straight after the transfer window. We're going to keep going and carry on with the normal show. So I want your views. I want your comments. We've signed a striker today. Is that enough? Your views count. We want to know what you want to say. So join us for the next hour in tonight's live show. Is it good enough?
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.
Yes, that's a simple question. Has this been a good window? I want your views. I want your comments. I want to know whether you think the players going out was right. Will Alves gone today? El Canouse gone today? No big set. I mean, El Canouse was on an obligation to buy, but it's a loan to start with, but there is an obligation. So we have sold him. Will Alves gone out on loads of Huddersfield. Striker come in. We needed a striker. I don't know too much about him. Want to know your views, your comments on him. But as it goes at 3 minutes past 7, that's it. There was quite a few other little rumours. Daka going off. We wanted 10 million for him. People offering like £4 or £5 million. Should we have just got rid of him? He'll be gone in June next year for free. Winks is still here as far as we know. Wout Faes is still here as far as we know. These are players who don't look that interesting. I think Wout Faes does look quite interesting actually, but Winks, not sure on that. Let's get as many of your comments on here. S. Blackie says, we've signed a striker. Hallelujah. I mean, since the day Jamie Vardy said he was leaving, and good luck to Jamie Vardy. I'm sure we'll all want to wish that at his new club. By the way, Jamie Vardy, that doesn't look like the sort of club I thought he was going to go to. It feels like he struggled to get a club. Do you think that? Or do you think that was the club of his dreams to go to a newly promoted Serie A team? But good luck to him. I hope he rips it up there. Dorco says, is Daka still here? Apparently, yes. As far as we know, Dorco, did you want him gone? Would you have took 5 million? I mean, he's going to cost us 4 or 5 million quid in wages for this year. So obviously, it looks like we could have got 4 or 5 million. We hung on for 10 million and we've still got him. The trouble is when you hang on to a player like Daka is he's bang average as it is. And then come January, February, he's going to be thinking about his move and not want to put a leg in and get stuck in. Not that he does that much anyway. FSB says, only a good window if you tell us something we don't know. I've got nothing. I'm waiting. We're watching all the channels. The club have tweeted out. It looks like they're saying the window is shut. So that looks like it is. Trigger Jamie says, I think it's ended with positive vibes if we've signed 3 players. Well, as far as I know, we've not. We've signed 2. I'm classing Begovic as one of those 2. Andy says we've signed a striker, but we've still got Daka, angry faces in there. Andy says who we've signed. Well, Andy, my question back to you is, have we signed enough people? Have we signed enough? Have we let enough of the deadwood go? And have we signed enough? Matty, good evening, Matty says probably not enough, but probably all we can do. I think being very realistic in there. Is Faze still here? Dorco says yes. Faze is still here as far as we know. Tom says in there, good evening. Think we still to get 1 or 2 more. There's rumours earlier on this afternoon, and then from about 4 o'clock, it's gone desperately quiet. So it looks like it's not there. FSB says the swamp's drained. I think there's still a few troublemakers in there myself, but let me know your views. Dawn says frustrating, only the 1 player's been announced, waiting for the other 2. I think, Dawn, we were all thinking there's going to be 1 or 2 coming in, but it actually looks like there isn't. It looks like that is it. That's it. The business is done, and that's the big question. Has this been, as far as we know, has this been a good window? I think there's definitely some good aspects, but has it been a good window? Time will tell. Tony says at the moment it's not a good window. We needed a midfield player. You let El Khanous go, that's your creative midfielder, isn't it? We had Kiernan Dewsbury Hall 2 seasons ago. Before that, obviously, we've had Madison. We've had lots of great players. Winks plays too deep and it really isn't making that first team at the moment. So if we let El Khanous go and not got anybody in to replace him, that would seem a bit stupid to me. But hey, what do you think? Ryan says if we get Jordan James and Ramsey in, they were the 2 names linked this afternoon, Ryan. I would say we're in a good place. I'd hoped to have put a deal sheets in for them. It can still happen, as you're right. If they put a deal sheet in before 7, they can get an extension, but there's not much talk of that. I'm going to get Reedy in now. Let's get Reedy in. And I'm also going to say I'm putting the link out there. So anybody who wants to come on and join the show, please do. Daka should have been allowed to go to Sainsbury's. Really, before we get on to anything specific, I want to get as many fans' comments on as possible. Has anything happened since I've been blathering on in the last 5 or 6 minutes?
What about some ex-Leicester City news?
No, stick with Leicester. I just want to focus on Leicester. On Leicester.
Right now, no. I did see 4 hours ago, which I just had a look. We did, obviously, Daka was about 10 million we've been asking for. I mean, apparently we did turn it down. I didn't know we did turn it down.
It's real. Lee says here, can't believe we turned down bids for Daka. I know what you mean, Lee. I'm just like, he's going for free in June, and really my trouble with Daka is because he's going for free in June is when it gets to this, January, February, March, he's going to be thinking, I've got no contract in June. If I get a big injury now, that my football career is in a mess. So these players, we've seen it before with people like Iheanacho, Yuri Tillemans, they put half a shift in. So it seems crazy if you've got a bid, especially with his wages, to turn it down for Daka.
Because his contract is out next year, yeah, I probably would say you should have took whatever money you could get for him. I was a bit shocked that we stayed on for 10 million because I don't think anyone in this chat or even in the show wouldn't say that he's worth 10 million. But again,
I mean, even you, really, anybody's going to say he's worth 10 million. The only person that I know would be you.
Yeah, and again, if you got 10 million for him, then fair play. But it's like McAteer for me. I wouldn't have thought he was 12 mil, but we got 12 mil out of it. So for me, I'm glad. But again, we've now got 3 strikers in the mix, which again, you'd probably say if you lost Daka, you'd only have 2, and people saying we like 2 strikers, maybe you might not even be enough. So at least you've got a choice now. And obviously, I would actually go out and say that someone like Daka is still okay when it comes to pressing and stuff like that. So, and we saw that against Birmingham when he came on, all you could see he was running around, and he might not do too much with it, but at least he's pressuring the defenders.
Ian says they could still announce James and Ramsey. These were 2 names that were left afternoon reading. And, it could still happen, but you said just before we came on air, you said the club have done a tweet, which pretty much, what did they put? We were literally about to go live.
Yeah, they literally just put a tweet saying Carranza the Fox. So, and that was at literally 7 o'clock. So I thought they would have maybe put like, oh, we're doing deals or whatnot. But no, they've just
put the little looking eyes sort of things or something like that.
But they just put a post about Carranza. So there you go.
Craig says not as in.
Not enough players in. I'd say we got a lot of players that we probably didn't need or needed to go out, and we know Cifuentes, as I said the last few weeks, that he likes a smaller squad. And obviously at the point when he first joined, I think we had about 32 or 33 players with the inclusion of all the academy players. So kind of in a position where we got a lot of players that he probably wanted out. A few players probably didn't want to leave, but did leave, and now in a position where he's probably got his squad to the number he wants it. He just wish he had a few extra players that he could have been a bit more helpful in the squad.
Let's get Nick in. I'm going to put the link out there one more time. If anybody wants to keep your comments coming in, I'm going to try and just keep putting them on screen. But I'm also, if you want to click on the link like Nick's done, it's welcome all. Nick, good evening to you. Nick, what's your big thing you want to talk about first off? Just transfer deadline day?
Well,
What's your number
there's
one
still-
thing
there's-
tonight?
there's still time for it to be announced. I mean, let's be fair, right? Reedy's just said that the Piranha's a fox, and that was just before we all went live, yeah? That was announced ages ago. If anything, that just goes to show how slow our media team is at King Power.
Well, yeah, I mean, they did post at about 3:00 the photos for him, didn't they? But
Exactly.
I think
So
Reedy's
4 hours later, they've announced it. The point's proven. On the
Well,
whole, I'm happy with the window. We've got rid of some of the deadwood. Bilal's gone, the little Mardy baby, throwing his toys out of the pram, refusing to play. If anything, we got a loan fee as well, £5 million loan fee for it. That's brilliant.
Tom,
So-
just break in, Nick. Tom's here saying Woyo's gone now too. I haven't seen that confirmed. Literally just before we were going on live, I was reading stuff that he was going. If anybody can confirm that, because we are literally live, Reedy, if you can have a look just while Nick carries on, just search that if you can, see if it's been confirmed. But I had heard just before that he might be gone.
What
sorry,
do we
Nick.
go for?
We don't know the amount. It just looked like he was apparently all but confirmed to go to Sassuolo in the Italian first division. I think he got promoted. But again, he's not playing. Another one that it's like JJ. Realistically, as much as he probably was first team, it wasn't a necessary keep for us. So now Wario's gone, even more money in the bank. So again, I think.
I mean, if it is true, again, it just goes to prove that we can start announcing stuff left, right, and centre. We're like just over 10 minutes into stream, and the window shut 10 minutes ago. Do you know what I mean? So it will start coming if we've done anything. Rob Tanner tweeted earlier on saying that there was movement behind the scenes and stuff like that. And if you remember, it was this time last year we announced Edward really late.
Yeah,
So it can happen.
yeah. Although the window shut at 11:00 last year, and this year it's 7:00, so there is still a chance that some deal sheets could have been put in. But normally, if deal sheets are put in, that comes out quite quickly. And it's been interesting this transfer window, that being a championship side this season, there's far less chit chat, news, anything, because we're not Premier League. So it is a lot harder.
It's been dominated by Isak going to Liverpool.
Yeah.
And the lad from Whistler from Brentford going to Newcastle. That's all that's dominated this transfer window. Let's be honest.
Baz says here we took 12 million for Casey, but wouldn't let Daka go. Sums our club up. I think the Daka one is strange because I think almost every fan, even Reedy's on here saying, Nick, Daka is just not worked for him particularly at all for one reason or another. And really, if you could have got 4 or 5. That would have been worth doing.
I'd have took 4 or 5p, let alone 4 or 5 mil. So just to get him off the wages, because he's yes, okay, he presses and stuff like that, but he's got no end product. So if we could have got his wages off the bill. I mean, there was rumours that this morning, I don't know if you guys saw it, about Rodgers interested in taking him up to Celtic.
Yeah, to Celtic. Well, that's the only bit of clibbers that Scottish transfer deadline doesn't shut till 11, Nick. So Daka could still go because, like you say, Brendan could take him back up to Celtic. We know he was interested in a striker. It would have made far more sense for me if Jamie Vardy ended up at Celtic. I'm slightly surprised he's ended up where Jamie Vardy has ended up. But let's focus on Leicester. Patrick says here, apparently 2 other deals done, waiting on media, which wouldn't surprise me, Reedy, the way we're not the quickest at getting news out.
Oh, we struggled with it. Sorry, Reedy, but we struggled to announce the blooming shirts. So do you know what I mean? That's how I think you guys should take over the media side of things at the King Power, because you'd be damn sight faster than what they are there.
It'd be quicker because I know that the new striker's name. Really, practice me, teach me. What is it?
I forgot his name now.
Oh,
Carranza.
Jesus.
Carranza, Julian Carranza.
Carranza. It takes me a while. Carranza. I mean, it was nice, but they've just got 2 blue neon tubes that they use in every other photo they do. It's just like stand there, mate, and hold the shirt. Boom. But 2 other deals. Patrick saying, I wonder who, Patrick, do you know who those 2 are? Let us know who you think they are. Keith says here, how's our new striker expected to score when we're playing 4 defensive midfielders? copied into place. Let's really, I'll start with you on that. Bilal El Khanouche, you were a big fan of his. I was always saying I like what I saw, but the end result gave the ball away a lot. But he threw his dummies well and truly out the pram. I think most fans now are actually like, well, you know, you can do one a bit, Bilal.
Yeah.
It leaves a gap, a creative gap.
It does leave a gap. A few weeks ago when Cifuentes first started talking about the togetherness and you want the fans to get with the players and the players need to show that they want to be here. And that's why maybe we haven't seen the likes of Winks in the last few weeks as much. And the likes of El Khanouche, again, he was, Cifuentes said he was available for Birmingham because he was. And that meant it was down to El Khanouche to say yes or no to it. And obviously now we saw after the game that he doesn't want to be here. So realistically, I'm glad he's gone. I don't know whether realistically it's an upgrade. Again, I'm not saying that Stuttgart is a downgrade. I'm just saying that in a position where he is and he could have gone to the likes of Palace or maybe somewhere like that, I think going to Stuttgart just means that he just didn't want to be with us and wants to play for anyone right now. So again, he does leave a gap. I don't think that gap is going to be down to Page, in my opinion. But again, I think you've just got to find a solution. Maybe the solution is you play Carranza up front and you play the likes of AU in the 10 role now.
I mean, Nick, a lot of people are saying it's James and Ramsey that the signings are there. There is rumblings around that these two are there. Again, I always question why, if they are done, why is it I mean, it's 20 minutes past 7 now. Why is it took all summer to get this deal done? But if they happen, Nick, is there a gap with El Khanouche there? Because Lewis Page looks like a good prospect. And again, apparently there was interest in Page from Man United and Arsenal, I saw today. Obviously looking to maybe snap up. He had a good performance against Birmingham. But El Khanouche going, it's a big ask to say, Page, you're our creative player this year, isn't it?
It is, but let's be fair. Was Bilal our most creative player?
Well, he was meant to
be. Exactly, he was meant to be, and he fell short. I'm sorry. At no point last season, we've not seen him at all this season, have we seen this so-called amazing creative player. Yes, there's talent there, but I would rather have a Lewis Page playing, somebody that wants to be at the club, than somebody that will throw his toys out the pram, sit in the stands while the rest of the lads on Friday night were working their socks off to get us the 3 points. He can, as far as I'm concerned, good. Good riddance. Let him go. Let him rot in the Bundesliga. You know, and apparently he did a similar thing to his previous club to get to us.
He did it at Genk, at Genk.
So, no.
For Leicester, which is bad. If you do it once and then do it twice, or season on season, you're going to get a bad reputation. And again, I said to Reedy earlier today, I said, that you can tell, we had this debate, is El Khanouche a Premier League player, earlier on in the transfer window? And the answer is he isn't, because nobody from the Premier League wanted to come and get him.
No.
Palace said enough is enough. We're not that interested in him. A few people are saying that this deal is still potentially going to go through. Obviously,
I think a lot more people are hopeful than anything.
Yeah.
Again, we've not seen anything concrete to go out and say like it's happening or there's anything going on with it. Again, once I see something concrete, then I'll believe it. But right now, I know Nick and everyone's saying that there's still time, which there is. Again, it could still be easily completed, but until we see facts or proof that something's happened, then right now I think the only one we've got in is Carranza and Begovic.
I mean, this is the biggest problem with the window, though, to be fair, because like we've all said, we all shut at 7 o'clock, but Scotland open up to 11. I think Saudi and Turkey and a couple of others.
I think Turkey's
have got
another
a few
week,
more days.
isn't it?
Yeah. Why are we not shutting all at the same time?
Yeah, it's a funny way how they do it all. I'm checking. If I stutter and stop, it's because I'm reading WhatsApps. I'm in loads of WhatsApp groups. I'm getting little bits and bobs and people saying, is this happening? Is that not happening? I've got Jono, who hosts our Thursday shows, just WhatsApp saying, could it be true that we've only brought in one player today? I think he's brought in Begovic. But yeah, I feel like we've done quite a good job of clearing out from last season. Quite a good job. A few who maybe stuck around, but bringing in, I still feel like we've probably undercooked it, really, as it stands right now.
I don't know how. I don't know the ins and outs of what's happening, like money wise. I think like we heard of when JJ and McAteer left, we had the equalising amount of what we needed to do to get PSR off our back. So I don't know. I don't know if the El Canoes money was a bit too late to come in and go, right, we haven't got the time to spend it. But I don't know. It just feels. I'm happy with the transfer window and the fact of the one player we got in was the one position we probably needed to get, and that was probably the main priority for the club. I would have liked maybe one or two more, but with the players that we've been linked to, from what I know of them, I wouldn't be too bothered if they didn't. In a way, again, there'll probably be improvements, but there won't be anything like spectacular that we needed to get through.
Nick, Julian Carranza, saying that right, hopefully. Now, I know nothing about this guy before, like, today when we started all talking about him, or even yesterday. But what I do know is he's Argentinian. He's been over in the MLS. Went to Miami, then he's been out to, like, is it Philadelphia or Pittsburgh? It's one of those two.
Yeah, Philadelphia,
Yeah. And then he went... I mean, Inter Miami bought him for 5 million quid. Yeah. And then he sort of got sold for 400. Went from 5.5 million to 400,000 to a free move to Feyenoord to a loan spell at Leicester. So it's one of those where it's sort of like going up and then it's gone down. I've watched his YouTube, Nick, highlights.
Shock. I bet his quality on there. I bet he's absolutely amazing.
He looks. I know we're all going to go Leonardo Ulloa. He kind of reminds me of a cross between Leonardo Ulloa and Jamie Vardy physically, and some of the goals I've seen him score. I've seen him score some goals where the ball's gone through and he's finished it off like Vardy. And I've seen him look like he's quite a big, powerful Argentinian player. Hey, that 2-minute YouTube, I got a little bit excited about.
Yes, but then you're forgetting the golden rule, Phil, that YouTube can make Patson Daka look like Kylian Mbappe.
I know. But
I think he'll be all right. I think he'll be all right for us. Looking at his stats, okay, he's not pulled up any trees at Feyenoord, but Feyenoord are a big club. But when you look at his stats all around the MLS, he's got a decent record in scoring. So, and he can't be worse than Daka. That's the way you got to say it. He can't be worse than Daka. So, I think he'll do all right. You just got to give him time.
I mean, the best bit, Nick, for me is that we've brought him in on loan. So I think a loan deal is, for me, the right move for players like this, because really he might just suit us for one season. If he plays well and we go up, then who knows? If he doesn't cut the mustard, there's no silly money.
Well, it's £5 million option, isn't it? So that's, again, it's kind of a decent deal though. Because well, it's not obligation, but we can buy him for the 5 million.
It's enough to buy at the end of the season. Yeah,
which is like what happened with Chatterworth.
Yeah.
If we wanted, so
if he does get his 20 goals this season, for example, 5 million for a 20 goal a season player is pretty decent money. So it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Chris Lee says, Marty said the squad was too big from the beginning. Not surprised at the lack of new signings. Yes, we know he wanted to trim that down. But Chris, and I'll ask this to Reedy. Chris asked that, and I thought he would trim it down a little bit more than he has done. I thought, obviously, Will Alves has gone out on loan today, Reedy. Will Alves is one of those players who's shown lots. We've heard his name for 4, 5, maybe 6 years, Will Alves. He had that horrific injury, but he's I thought he was going to be part of this season's squad, Will Alves, and he's not made it. He's gone out on loan. I'm surprised a couple of others that ilk are still around the club, and maybe we didn't let a few more of the lads who aren't quite really in that first team squad go out on loan as well.
No, I agree. I mentioned the names of like Braybrooks and all that. Like they for me, them ones who aren't seeing the lineups or are on the bench but never seem to come on. For
Yeah,
me,
Marcel. I
yeah.
just,
Don't get me
you
wrong.
know,
Last 2 years ago, Marcel was one of our better players
prospect.
because at the
Yeah,
start
but
at the start of the season he was doing quite well, but then he obviously
they've been superseded by Munger. You know, we've
yes,
not seen
exactly.
Jake Evans yet, have we? And Page.
But these are the players now where it's like Will Alves for me. I kind of wish he kind of went permanently because right now, like I say, we had a Dewsbury Hall who obviously did a lot more at the age he is now. A few other players as well. Again, Casey McAteer for me. I'm glad he's gone. As much as he was a local lad, I'm just kind of glad he's gone because he wasn't to the level I think we need someone to be now. Again, Fatawu came in straight away and was shown he was probably deserved the first team. Mavididi came in. He's obviously not been great this season already, but again, these players I don't think are ever going to reach the heights of what we maybe thought they would do when they were a
Yeah.
bit younger.
I mean, Nick Dorco says there Alves now knows Leicester don't want him. I kind of agree with what Dorco's saying. I think that's what it says to me as well, is that I don't expect to see Will Alves
I just don't
feature
think
again
he's
for
ever
Leicester.
he's never got to the level where right now, like I say, when we're saying the kind of perfect age or the prime age, he's getting younger and younger now. So a prime age for him is probably around the age he is now, in my opinion. I know football wise it's more later in the line, but when players are getting better, they're getting younger when they're getting better now. So for me, I'm not bothered that Will Alves is gone, but in the position he plays, I probably would have preferred him right now over Page just because of the age of how well he's played at the moment.
I would argue though, Page has looked all right. I mean, let's not forget he assisted the first goal on
No,
Friday.
I understand that.
And
I'm not saying he's
what you,
awful.
no, I know you're not. But what I'm trying to say is, Alves came through the ranks and everybody was making a song and dance about him. Has he took his opportunity when he's been offered it? And I would argue, no, he's not took the
No.
opportunity given to him, and that's probably why he's been loaned out.
Mm.
I'm sure he played in the cup game against Huddersfield that we
He
got knocked
did.
out
He
of.
did,
He
yeah.
Yeah,
did.
and did he pull up any trees?
No.
No. So if anything, get him down into League One, get him some experience where he's going to get kicked in and out all week, and it might bulk him up and toughen him up a bit, and he might come back a different player.
Nick,
It can go either way.
I'll ask you this first, and everybody watching this, please give us your comments, and then we'll come to read it. But Nick, first of all, Steve says it got to be embarrassing for FaZe announcing he was off in February and looks like he's going to be here unless he goes to Turkey. I just want to spin that question a little bit to FaZe and Winks, who between them have made it quite clear, either physically, visually, or via agents, that they probably want to be off. They are, as far as we know, both going to be here as it stands now at 7:28 on Monday the 1st. I know that the big rumour with FaZe was going off to Turkey, which could still happen. But Nick, if assuming that doesn't happen, how does Marty integrate them back in? Because we know that Winksy fell out with Rude last year, but it feels like I get the impression from the outside looking in, Winksy sort of looks like he's been moved. He's not been first pick for Marty to the level where I think as a seasoned pro like Harry Winks, who's played in the Champions League final, to see people like Page and Monga being picked ahead of him, as a professional, I think that's rubbing salt in the wounds. How they were two players I thought would go, Nick.
Well, it's up to them as professionals to obviously Marty's not seeing anything special in training. They are professionals, they're paid to do a job. And if they're just like coasting it, and then there's a young lad like a Page, or in Fass's case, a Ben Nelson, that are trying harder in training, I'm not being funny, but why shouldn't those guys deserve to be ahead of Fass and Winks? At the end of the day, we've been saying this for a few weeks now. We would rather have players playing on that pitch that A, want to be here, and B, are ready to leave it out on the pitch and scrap and claw and fight for every point we can get. If Fass and Winks don't want to be part of that, then that's on them. And no club will come sniffing for them if they've got that mentality on their head, because they won't touch them.
Winks, Reedy, I think, has showed a couple of flashes of his skill this season. FaZe, I think, has done okay this season, again in places, but the old cupping the hand to the ears, the booing. He could have against Sheffield Wednesday. He scored the winning goal. He could have solved his problem there and then. He's kind of dug a hole, and now he's not got transferred as far as we know yet. Reedy, it makes it a bit awkward all round, isn't it, for those two?
I actually would go out and say I'm probably one of the only ones in this show right now that actually wants to say this. I'm kind of glad we've kept Faze, and it's only because I think out of all the defenders we've played this season in the last 4 or 5 games, he's probably been the best one out of the lot overall. I think once he's come on and again he scored the goal, and I in my opinion with what he did in the Sheffield Wednesday game, I ain't too bothered about what he did because fans gave it him and he gave it back. And in my opinion, he's had enough shit on him over the last few years, and probably rightly so with what he's done over the last few years. But again, in the Championship last season, he was probably one of the best defenders. So I'm not saying he's the greatest player. I'm not saying he doesn't want to be here, but I don't really mind that he is here. Winks, on the other hand, I don't know. I think every time he's been on the pitch, he's not really shown that he doesn't want to be here. I know there's times where he's probably not. He's not being picked for a reason, so that's probably one reason. But again, I'm not too bothered that they've not gone. In the fact of, I think they will be important for us over the course of this season. Maybe not now, but maybe when.
Don't get me wrong. I like Harry Winks as a player. I think Harry Winks, if anything, would prefer Winks and Sumari as the partnership instead of Skip and Sumara. But if the fans see that they're trying the hardest and they're fighting for the shirt, the fans will come back on side. That's all it takes is to put the effort in and fight. We've said this for a long time. You don't have to be technically gifted to play for Leicester City, but as long as you're trying your hardest, the fans will back you and get behind you.
Again, there's another one there. Daz Davies saying about Golden. Another one that could maybe see his way into that maybe cam role. Again, we have got players. If you think about it,
is he even real? Because I've never seen him. Is he not like a tax write-off somewhere or something like that?
These are the sort of players that you're thinking about, and these are players we probably even forgot about. But thinking about it now, El Khanous is gone, and he has, and Cifuentes has maybe.
But he's not even.
Down.
But he's not been anywhere near it.
No, he's not.
Taylor says here, Apoco's gone on loan to Newport County. So that's one of these players like Alves we were saying to skin down the squad a little bit and give them some game time in there. Jordan James is a Leicester player on loan, says Ivan. This is rumbling around. I'm like I say, presenting the show, chatting with you guys. I'm reading Twitter, I'm reading WhatsApps. I'm definitely getting rumblings that Jordan James is there. Really, what do you know about Jordan James?
All I know about him is he scored 2 goals past us when he was playing for Birmingham. And he's Welsh international. That's all I know of, really. I just to say, yeah, Leicester did tweet about the Apoku going on loan, just so people know. But yeah, James, I wouldn't mind it. I don't think it's a necessary thing to have in the squad. But again, he can't be worse than what we've got right now, surely.
He's a centre midfielder, which everybody's been crying out for, and he can play as a number 10. Again,
if he's a number 10 and he gets into the squad, then fair enough. But right now, we don't know if he isn't or not, and that means right now, who have we got to play in that role? I did hear. Actually, I don't know if you heard. I think you're just about to say Josh Brownhill. So
Josh Brownhill.
Yeah, 100 million, 100 grand.
No,
I think it's horseshit.
Yes.
I think it's horseshit.
There's no way
it's been confirmed.
There is no way in hell we have offered him £100,000 a week when we're getting rid of players like Coda, all these high earners, etc.
Well, where's this
Brownhill 100 grand a week? No chance.
Where's this being confirmed, Phil?
I believe I've seen it on major media outlets that's. Let me have a look to see where it was.
There's no chance in hell.
The
He'd
one
be
the
here.
one
If
thing
we
we
offered him
saw,
100k a week, he'd be here right now.
yeah, he'd be in the door by now. Yeah.
Well, apparently he's off to Saudi, so they've probably offered him at
Oh,
least that
okay,
and more,
okay,
and live in
that's fair
Saudi.
enough.
So,
Okay, that's fair enough.
Oh, so
Yeah,
they've offered him 500 grand a week.
yeah, there you go.
well, what scared me, to be fair, was that we were still in a world where we were offering people. I think the 100 grand a week, from what I read for Brownhills, was if we got promoted, he got bonuses and add-ons that made it equivalent to that. So
Yeah.
we'll never know.
Well, we've
exactly
dodged the bullet. We've dodged the bullet if that's the case, because let's be fair, we've been paying high wages for a long, long, long time to players that don't deserve them. So we've probably dodged the bullet there.
Right,
Yeah,
Ryan
probably.
says it would offer him 100 grand a week. It's Rudkin after all. To be fair, Alex Crook at Talksport tweeted we offered a deal. I'd say it was in the major outlets in there. Gary Wright says Brownhill wanted too much money.
I'm just looking on Twitter now, and it's someone who's a Burnley fan just came and said they allegedly rejected huge bids from at Wolves and Leicester. Still no clue what the earth is going on. So
Yeah,
don't know.
It's a free agent, isn't there? So
yeah, absolutely,
it's a free agent.
Um,
So you can stone free agents.
I've just shared the link there, so if anybody wants on the link, and come on, give us your views. Let us know if you've got any last bits of gossip that you're hearing or you're seeing. Let us know in there. Click on that, but keep those comments coming in. Scott says here, if we offered players wages like that, Rudkin needs booting out the door. Scott, it's what we've been doing for a long time, which has got us into this PSR mess that we are in. Taylor has clicked on the link. Taylor, welcome to the show. Taylor, are you all right, mate?
Yes, how are you all?
Yeah,
Good,
Taylor. Thanks for clicking on to the show. Welcome, and we want your views. I'll start with the big question. As it stands now, we're hearing a few rumours of different bits and bobs. But Taylor, the big question to you is: has this been a good window or not?
50-50 for me, because obviously we've got rid of a lot of negativity from last season, which we needed to get rid of. But we can't do that and expect to just survive with no players, in my opinion.
Yeah, what's been good about? Let's start, if it's 50-50, start with the good part first.
Yeah, well, getting 15 mil or however it was, or 12 mil for McAteer was obviously a very good deal, and Justin was good money. All of the deals we've got, I can't really complain about. Maybe El Canous on a permanent would have been a lot better than a loan, but because I don't think he really wants to be here. You could see his post earlier. He said like goodbye or whatever. It was, he's not coming back. So the money we've got is good.
Taylor,
but,
it's a loan for Bilal.
Yeah.
It's a loan with an obligation to buy, which means they have to buy him. It's just
the
payment
depending
is at
on
the end of
their
the season.
appearances or something, isn't it? Something like that.
No, it's an obligation, which I believe I believe I'm right in saying there's no caveat. They sign him at the end of this.
Okay.
They just I think that's because they wanted to pay him out next year instead of this year.
Yeah, probably paying less money now than
they just paid £5 million up front for the privilege of paying him 25 at the end of the season.
Yeah, so I suppose maybe it is a good deal, but we've only signed.
We probably still owe Genk for him from last year. These deals, you might say you've paid 30 million, like Liverpool are paying 130 million for Isaac from Newcastle. They won't be paying all that up front. It'll be in stage payments, maybe over 3 or 4 years. Football's a big money go round. So, but yeah, what about the new striker, Taylor?
I think that, well, obviously none of us really know too much about him. Obviously, we've seen clips about him on Twitter, but like you said earlier, you can get Daka looking like Mbappe on YouTube, but obviously he can't be worse than Daka. He just can't be.
Can it? Surely it can. Surely it can. It can.
Just because you're still in love with him, it can't be worse than Daka.
Surely, hey, you never know. Hey,
You're not a Daka fan, surely.
I'm not a Daka fan anymore, mate. But again, I'm glad we've just got 3 strikers now, in my opinion. Again, 2 would have been a bit risky if one of them got injured, and like I said, maybe the AU now will be in that 10 role like Juventus has done in the game in the last few games, where he's brought him into the camera where Daka is up front. So maybe Carranza starts up front and AU goes in behind.
Yeah, I think Taylor, I'll pull it back to you to start with, and then we'll go to Nick. I think Carranza, he will be a starter. I think there's no point bringing him in to not be a starter, Taylor.
If it was up to me, I don't know if you boys agree, but I think I should be in the 10 because he clearly doesn't want to be stood up front on his own. He wants to get involved in the game. I think he does it quite well. So if that's the case, I'd definitely have Carranza up front.
Reedy's laughing, but I actually think, Taylor, you're on.
No, I agree. I said it before, but I was just reading Richie Collins' message when he says, get Reedy off. He's talking rubbish as always, but
Well,
it's true.
Richie is quite true.
It is true, yeah. But yeah, I agree. Again, we've seen Cifuentes do it the last few games where when he brings Daka on, he puts you in the 10. And I as much as I don't think he's going to be as creative as what we need him to be, he'll probably do the better job than we've got at the moment with Page in for me. So yeah, put Carranza up front and put AU in the 10 now.
Yeah, I think so. Nick, would you agree with that? That Carranza's going to be his starter? We need a striker. You've signed one.
Mm-hmm. I think we've got a 2-week break now before we play again. It will give him a chance to bed in with his new teammates because I don't think we're going to have many going on international duty. Why not start him and have AU as the number 10 that can bring others into the game a little bit more? So I'd start him. I mean, we've got Oxford next. I'd give him a go, and then obviously once the Oxford players are tired out, you bring on fresh legs in Daka. As much as it pains me to say.
And as well, I was going to say that all these balls that we've been crossing in the last few years that people are saying they've got no one up front to head them in. Isn't this Carranza quite a taller kind of striker?
Well, so he's more of a target player with a bit of pace. So he's got a bit of,
there you go.
You know,
hopefully he can
like
put
I say,
some balls in there.
Taylor,
perfect. Ujo Vardy hybrid.
Well, yeah, that's what I say, Taylor. I watched this YouTube. Have you watched his YouTube highlights
on Carranza?
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen him banging in goals in the San Siro, so I'm very convinced.
But he kind of, I said earlier, he kind of reminded me of a slightly bigger built Jamie Vardy. He looked like, I don't know if you're old enough to remember Leonardo Ulloa.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I know
good. So I'm kind of like, I see him in that sort of role, a bit more dynamic and chasing forward, and can hit a ball from the edge of the box and can poach a goal.
Yeah, I agree. I think we've lacked a striker who was a bit physical for the last few years. Vardy's obviously physical, but not someone who's just going to sit, hold up, and like. I want someone who's be a bully in the box. We haven't had that for years. I think he could be it. We cross the ball in for fun to no one. So
yes,
maybe we get some headers finally.
Mm-hmm. I love how we're trying to compare Carranza to Vardy, just so we've got a bit of a little glimpse of he might be good.
Well, we've got it. That is what we're going to compare him to, Reedy.
No, I get it. No one's going to compare to him, but
this is what we often talk about. 2 seasons ago in the Championship, we had the biggest difference we had 2 years ago to today was a 20-goal a season Jamie Vardy, and also we had Kiernan Dewsbury Hall who was bossing it around there, and we had Harry Winks on great form as well, which is a spine of players, and Hermansen behind them. We had a right line down that middle of quality. Good keeper, good number 6, good number 10, good number 9. It worked really well. So I am hoping that that's exactly what we signed today. It's really 50-50, Reedy, with this guy, because none of us know anything. A few flashes on YouTube. It could work for him. He's got a chance.
I would actually go out and say that I think, and this is not me saying it because I want Daka to do well, but I think if he moved somewhere and got a consistent run of form, he wouldn't be as bad as we think he is. And I think certain players just suit certain teams better. And maybe we have scouted this guy, and I thought I would know most of the players that we've been linked with, but this guy I didn't even have a clue about. But again, he is, like you say, he is a faster, stronger player, and maybe he's a combined little bit of Vardy and Ujo has put together. So maybe he's a fast, attacking and strong player. So
to be fair though, let's not forget we didn't know a lot about Fatawu when we scouted him.
No,
look how 100%. He turned out. So
100%.
One thing I've noticed is, did anyone else see the Feyenoord fans' reaction to him?
No, I tried to look, but it was all in Dutch. So
no, there was a picture that came through on something, and they were all pretty happy that he was leaving. There's breaking news. Koulibaly's just left. I think we've just announced Koulibaly's gone to Sassuolo on loan.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Mhm.
just announced him.
4 to 5 minutes late.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just for people to see.
So we've done something for the last 15 minutes. So maybe at 8.
Did it say how much we got
Jordan
for him?
James.
I'll have a quick look
On
on the
loan.
website.
If he's on loan, he's on loan, isn't he?
I know, but I don't know whether it's a loan with an obligation.
I don't know. Well, I mean, that's breaking news. Woyo Koulibaly has gone. Again, I don't want to start a debate particularly about him too much, apart from say he's probably ranks up there as one of the all-time worst purchases because we bought him in January for £2 million. God knows who found him, spotted him, said, let's buy him because £2 million. He didn't get played under Ruud van Nistelrooy. Ruud clearly didn't want him, didn't ask for him, didn't need him. I know Reedy, I'm going to jump to Reedy because Reedy will tell me what he did do. But since then, he's barely played. But really, the only thing Woyo Koulibaly did was...
He played decent in 2 games when he came on or when he started. I think he played against Arsenal when he played the first half, but got booked, so he got brought off. And I actually thought he did play well quite that game. And there was another game. And there was another game.
Reedy's going to give you the 17 minutes he did well. Reedy, I thought you were going to say what he did do was inspire James Justin to get back to form.
Well, he did. Again, that's the reason we bought him, in my opinion. JJ was playing quite poor, so Woyo came in and JJ upped his game. So
yeah, that I agree he did do.
Yeah, and this is where I would have still preferred to see Woyo here and give him a bit more game time, but now with Ricardo back fit and Chadri looking quite a decent outfit in the Championship, I don't think is necessarily needed. So, and again, another player out the door and less on the team sheet. So, again, maybe all these players leaving means we've got more room to get a few extra players in that we've not heard of yet.
Yeah, Michael says here, why the hell did they buy Woyo if they weren't going to? Taylor, you really didn't see anything much of Woyo to pass the moment, surely.
No, I mean, we brought him on at Tottenham, I remember, in Everton, and I think he played in that terrible game against Brentford. But what I did notice about him, and maybe is why all these managers have sort of snubbed him, I don't know if anyone watched pre-season. He wasn't, when he got the ball, I don't think he's that good on the ball. And I think he'd be a good defender. He reminds me a bit of a Wan-Bissaka, obviously not as good. But I think on the ball is where he's lacks, and that's why he's been snubbed by these attacking-based managers like.
Is that because of his hair, or
Wan-Bissaka
look-alike?
He just reminds me of Wan-Bissaka. He's a bit of a cruncher. I remember against Brentford, he snapped someone, and they were all moaning about it. But I just don't think he's good on the ball.
He was a panic signing. That's all he was.
Go on, Nick. I was going to say to you, yeah, it was a bit of a panic signing. It
was a panic
come
signing.
Off at all, did it?
It was a Martin Glover, John Rudkin panic signing. The depth of the January window because Ruud was moaning he got no players. Oh, okay, you can have £2 million. Ruud is Woyo Koulibaly, nobody had heard of. Panic signing, bit like Edouard at this time last year. Brought him in, stupid loan fee. Were a panic signing.
What I can say is on what's happening on Leicester's Twitter right now, they're seeming to report something every 15 minutes on the dot. So hopefully 8 o'clock, if we're still live, there might be something we want to hear at 8 o'clock. Yeah, there was one every 15 minutes since then.
Yeah, indeed. I'm reading WhatsApps. Literally, it all finished at 7 o'clock, but there is still going out. So, Okapoko has gone to Newport County. Woyo's gone. Where's he gone, Reedy? Where's
Sassuolo? Sassuolo.
Pardon? Beg your pardon?
Sassuolo.
Where's that?
All right,
I think
Vard will get the better of him when.
I think it's in the Italian First League. I think they got promoted. Yeah, they got. I think they got promoted from Serie B last season. Yeah.
Okay.
He's actually
Serie A side Sassuolo on loan.
Yeah, he's actually got an upgrade because when we bought him, he was in the Serie B. So.
Yeah. Funny how it all works, isn't it? Keep those comments coming in. If you want to join us, they're still in there. James says here, is the window still open for loans? There's still things happening, James, and the transfer window in England has shut at 7 o'clock, but there's deal sheets can still go in. Scotland shuts tonight at 8, which is where people saying maybe Daka could go off. That could still happen. Fives could still go off. Does anybody know the Turkish deadline? It is kind of the 12th or something.
I think it's a couple of days with Turkey. Because Besiktas, where Ndidi's gone, they're the ones that are interested in Fass. So I don't see him going now. To be
Friday the
honest,
12th.
Friday the
Friday the
12th. Yeah,
12th.
it's the 12th. Yeah.
Yeah.
So things could still happen.
That's
Taylor,
Greece as well, by the way.
but that's only for goings out. That's not. You can't.
Mhm.
We can't sign anybody.
No,
Taylor-
we can bring in free agents, but other than that, we can't do anything. We can't, bring in any loans in now. So
Yeah. So Taylor, I'm
Obviously.
going to spin this kind of back round to where we started with you. Has it been a good window? I mean, since you came on 20 minutes ago, we can confirm
sold
2
2
more
players.
players have gone out. Yeah, 2 players have gone. Which for me makes it a bit better that there's some players who aren't going to be in there. Because Koulibaly could have been a sub, could have been somebody who comes on if we have an injury. So is it better or not?
But let me put one scenario in everyone's head. What do we do if Fatawu gets injured? Who's gonna?
Yeah.
And he has no, you can't expect him to get the full season through no injuries when he's just had an ACL.
IU plays right midfield.
That's not what we want, is it? Really?
We saw it last season. We saw it last season. It was horrible.
But that's what will happen. Because who else have we got? We haven't got no
That's what I mean.
wingers on the
Fatawu's
right side, have we?
won us
You've
all
got-
our games.
You've
so
got
far.
Wanya Marcel.
Yeah,
He's
possibly.
He's
I know
hidden in
he's.
the dark.
I know he's not great, but you never know.
Armchair Jockey says we'll all cry. We all will. When
Yeah,
he got injured on Friday, didn't he?
Yeah.
I've not heard too much of an update on that. Has it
It was
been
just
out
cramp.
yet?
It was just cramp.
It's cramp.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
I think he said in an interview he was fine, but that
He
was
was
in
dancing-
a dodgy English interview that he doesn't really know how to do.
He was dancing at the end of the game, so it's
Yeah.
all okay.
Yeah, James says here, no Fatawa, no party. You do kind of think that there's a lot more pressure on Fatawa now that Bilal's gone and that people are expecting him to do it all the time in there. Lickers says Reedy can play. Jeepers. I've never seen Reedy run, mate, let alone kick a football.
Unless it's
Go on. I've seen him kick a football and it was at Loughborough Fair and he got it through the hole, didn't you, Reedy?
first chance.
Teddy bear, yeah. Surprised
Yeah.
me.
And I only run when it comes to food, so
To get it, yeah. So I'm not. We're going to see if there's any more news in the last few minutes, but things can change. There was talk about Jordan James. Let's talk about Brownlows. That's gone. Any other Reedy players we were linked with?
I think-
Tom
Go on, Taylor.
Comalos, this whatever his name is, has just said more incoming loans expected for Leicester, even though the window's officially closed. Club strongly linked with Jordan James and Aaron Ramsey.
Who's a
These
winger?
are the,
Ramsey's a winger, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he's a bit of a cam, I think. Tom,
And he can play on the wing, which
yeah.
which is actually a Fatawu replacement if he gets injured.
Yeah, so if that does get done, then I think that will be a good window. If we definitely get them, then it's a good window.
one of them I think will be announced at 8 o'clock if I'm not wrong. So
you think so, Reedy?
I think, well, again, they've tweeted out from 7 o'clock when we saw that first tweet at 7 when the window's shut. Every 15 minutes from then, there has been information on certain players. So, and again, with what we're saying about the certain player squad depth he wants, and he wants it a bit smaller, now a few other players have gone that we've heard of, then maybe it gives it even more space to have a few of these players that we've not seen yet come in.
I think it's a successful window if we get Jordan James in, and as well as Ramsey, and then we've cleared out so much deadwood and bad eggs. I've got money for them. I think it's you could argue it's probably been the best window we've had summer wise for a long time.
Yeah.
Reedy?
So,
No, I do think that even if one of them out of the two came in, I'd still say it was a good window. I think both would be even greater, but yeah, I'm not sure.
I get it. Taylor, you said, I said to you, is it a good or is it a bad window? And you started off 50-50. I think if one or two, if both those players dropped in, I think you'd be saying it probably was a good window.
I'd say it's a much better window because we've actually replaced what we've sold. Like, we all got very excited when we were selling everyone, which is needed. Like, they all did need to go. It's just, I worried that if we had injuries to the squad, we wouldn't have much to bring in. But if we do get these two down the line, then I would shift that percentage to higher.
I've just had a look at another journalist. He's a French journalist, I think. 41 minutes ago, He's got quite a good following, and Fabrizio Romano follows him, so I probably would say. He says Jordan James is a Leicester player. Everything has been finalised. So there's some information.
5 minutes. We'll see in 5 minutes.
You never know. You never know.
We'll see in 5 minutes. We'll stay live, obviously, till 8 o'clock. See what happens. Jono Towers clicked in. I'm going to get Jono in. Taylor, are you all right to stick around a bit longer, mate?
Yes, I can stick around. I'm interested myself.
Good. Jono's here. Jono, we've been live for about an hour now, and things keep changing. I don't know if you've heard all the latest that we've let a couple of players go out in the last 20 minutes. Woyo's gone out, Okapoko's gone, but we've got players coming in. It sounds like.
Well, it sounds like they're loans to me, doesn't it? Maybe that's what we're only allowed to be doing, loans. But even so, they've sort of seemed to be addressing the areas of the pitch that I was worrying about, which is centre midfield and up front. So we've signed a striker. If we can get a couple of centre midfield players in, which sounds like we are trying to do on loan, then that sounds like, for me, good business if we're signing the right people. I don't know much about them, to be honest.
Just tell Jono what you know about the two players who we're linked with at the moment. Literally, you were just reading there. Jordan James, is that right? James Jordan.
Jordan James is.
We get rid of James Justin, and now we get Jordan James. Are they just trying to confuse me? James Justin James, Jordan. Oh, bloody hell! Go on, Reedy.
Yeah, Jordan James. JJ. JJ. Welsh international. He played for Birmingham for a couple of years. I think a few years ago. He scored 2 past us. I think we still beat them though. And yeah, I think he went over to Rennes, wasn't it? And he's not done overly amazing there, but again, it's on loan. We need someone in midfield that probably helps us. And the Aaron Ramsey one, when I saw it, all I know is he's his brother of the one who went to Newcastle. So yeah, again, I'm not too sure on how good he is, but again, if his brother is him, then he can't be that bad, can he? Surely.
Jono, we're kind of back to maybe where we were, which I quite like in a weird way, 6-7 years ago when we're signing some of these players and you're going, well, they've kind of not made it at other clubs. It's kind of got that feel of some of these players where you go, if you look at their history, they've sort of, like this striker we've signed, this might be something there, and maybe we can bring it out of him. You know, maybe that's the right thing. And if they're all loan deals, again, we're not committing to anybody longer than just this year.
Well, there might be something in that, to be honest. I think you're right. I think we're between a rock and a hard place. We're not able to spend a lot of money by the looks of it. So they're all loan deals. They've been scratching around in the market, in the bargain basement, you would probably say. But there's no harm in that if they're doing the right scouting and taking a punt on a few people. I think it's all about fresh faces for me. It's not, it could go sour if they're not very good, but we just needed some fresh faces in the door. And it sounds like the guy from Rennes, he's got some pedigree, played for Burnley, didn't he? That seems to be our level at the moment. So I don't think we can be grumbling too much about getting new faces in. They obviously needed a striker. It would have been nice maybe to have someone in that we might have known a little bit more about, but we didn't know much about Kante. We didn't know much about Mahrez, did we? I'm not saying that they're going to be at that level, but as you say, Phil, we're that's the position we're in now. That's the sort of they're the markets we're shopping in now. So absolutely, we've got to go with it and back them. I think.
Forget getting your food from Selfridges or Waitrose. We're right back down there in the corner shops and seeing what we can find at the car boot sale, aren't we, Jono? Yeah, that's
absolutely.
Go on, Reedy.
I was just going to say that Stefan comment where he says Carranza told Messi out all he knows at Miami, but I don't know if they played together. But it was like Daka and Haaland, wasn't it? It was like Daka and Haaland together. Yeah. We all had a dream.
It's 8 o'clock.
It is 8
It's
o'clock.
Taylor says it's 8 o'clock.
Oh,
Are you,
Sammy
who's
Braybrook.
checking Twitter?
Sammy Braybrook's gone to Newport County.
There you
Well,
go.
there
no
you go.
more.
That's the 8 o'clock news. That wasn't the 8 o'clock news that we
Oh.
wanted.
No,
No,
it
it
wasn't.
wasn't.
Maybe at
We
9
did-
o'clock.
We did say earlier, though, Jono, before you came on, we said that some of this, when we started, we said some of the extra lads like Braybrook and that really could probably do with getting on loans. And Braybrook and am I saying it right?
Okapoku.
Poku.
Both. I'm having a nightmare with names tonight, Jono. They've both gone out to slim down the squad a little bit. And Woyo going out on loan, and obviously El Canu. So there's been some shifting, Jono.
Yeah, I mean, that all seems to make sense to me. The young lads going out on loan, getting some experience. The one that I'm really surprised about seeing today was Will Alves, especially as El Canu's leaving the way he has. I thought there was an opportunity there for him to potentially step up. And, you know, we've been saying it for a number of years about Will Alves, about when will he start sort of making a claim on the first team. And it seemed to me like this was a prime opportunity for him to actually, you know, step into the El Cano shoes and make a claim for a starting role. So that was a bit disappointing for me that he's gone out on loan to Huddersfield as well, which is another step below where he went out on loan last season, didn't he? He was out on Cardiff last year. So I can't remember how he really got on at Cardiff last year.
Mixed.
Yeah, I think it was mixed from what
Not
I
sure
gather
their
as well.
fans were too keen on it.
He certainly didn't set the world on fire at Cardiff, and he's gone to another on loan at Huddersfield, which is a step again below. And it makes me wonder whether, you know, all of the things that we've been saying about Will Alves over the years, about him being, you know, a phenomenal talent that will be breaking through, whether we were possibly going a bit too gung-ho with all that, and maybe he just needs time. He's only 20. So, you know, we're not going to write him off, but it seems a bit disappointing for me that with the likes of Mungo and Page sort of making it into the first team, and they're much younger, why Will Alves, you know, hasn't got the, you know, credentials to potentially go with them into the first team. So that was a slight disappointment for me, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, the club are probably doing what they think is best for the player. So you've got to go with that, I suppose.
I think the news we all wanted there at 8 o'clock was Taylor to suddenly say, right, yeah, I've checked Twitter. And it's
two things I would like to point out. Obviously, Braybrook and Opoku have both gone to the same club, and it seems they've both gone till January. It's not a full season. I wonder why that is, or any reason for that.
Maybe because we need them back when it comes to.
That's what my
AFCON.
worry is. Do we know we're not going to sign anyone in
either.
January, that we need the loan players back?
AFCON's probably the big one.
Yeah, I'd say I agree with you, Reader. AFCON.
Well, who's going to AFCON?
Well, it would be Fatah.
It would be Fatah, possibly IU. We've got a few, haven't we, that could qualify for the AFCON.
Daka, yeah.
I don't know.
It's not like we're missing much, but yeah.
Even Reading's coming in on the Daka. Love that.
Hey, you never know. In the next hour, we might have 4 more outgoings and 1 more incoming. You never know. Again, they're doing it every 15 minutes, so within the next 12 minutes, I know we won't be live, but again, we'll probably have 3 or 4 more outgoings.
Well, you think the deals have been done and they're just not being announced?
Yeah. Every 15 minutes, there's a tweet about a certain player going, so maybe there's a few more coming into as well.
I think they are all going through last minute because they're loans. I think that's what's happening, and as long as the sheets have gone in and loans, it's slightly different, isn't it? There's less paperwork with a loan because you're not financially. You're sort of doing, you know. Of course, you've got to do a deal on it, but it's not quite as detailed. Sorry, who wanted to come in then?
I was going to say also, I think the fact that we've still got Winks, we've still got Vestergaard, we've still got Fass, we've still got Daka. Still got Samari, regardless of, you know, how we felt Samari played. All these players, in my mind, are still considered deadwood in my head, and they're all going to be leaving for a free next summer. So if they're not leaving now, then we either need to get rid of them in January for a small amount and get something back for them, or they're going to be leaving for free, which is the best part of what 40 or another 40 or 50 million quid going out the door for free.
They've got to have clubs that want them, though, Jono.
That's
It's all
absolutely
well and
true.
good saying get rid of them, but you've got to have a club that's willing to put, come and play for us, Daka, come and play for us, Samara.
Well,
The
that's
fact of
true.
the matter is
It
that
depends what
they were
price we're
rubbishly
putting on them.
scouted and we're stuck with them.
Yeah, there's absolutely that point as well. However, there was people in for, Daka, weren't there? Betis came in. So what were we? Maybe we were asking too much. Samari's gone out on loan a few times. So you're right. You do need to find suitors, but we found suitors for others. So, I don't see any reason why Harry Winks couldn't have found a suitor, for instance, or, who knows? But anyway, it's another example where we've been shockingly bad in our strategy, and we're letting players go for free. Where we've bought them in for the best part of 50 million, and then they're walking away. Have we learned our lessons? I don't know, but it's frustrating to see that.
Lads, it sounds like there might be a few more bits happen after this, but a lot's happened in that last hour. Thanks everybody for joining us. We'll obviously let things go for now and see what happens. Overall, I think we're waiting for those 2 incomings to make this a good transfer window. I think without those 2, we'd probably be going a lot of players gone and only 2 come in. I think that's not enough. Anyway, Reedy, Jono, Taylor's just left us, but Nick as well. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us.
Cheers, guys.
No worries, all good.
Thanks
a lot for the lads there, and thanks for everybody who's commented. I'm sure there's going to be a little bit more live action coming up with players coming in and maybe a couple going out. But thanks so much. It's all been a bit last minute. It was surprising. We weren't expecting that much to happen in the last hour, but it has happened. Good window, bad window. Still not sure myself. Need to see 1 or 2 players come in. Hopefully they're going to come in. We're hearing rumours that that's going to happen. So from everybody here at Leicester Fan TV, if anything happens, we'll go live and we'll see you all very, very soon. Thanks, guys.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.